Okay, hello everyone. Welcome to another masterclass series hosted by the IAPC&M. This is our Business Mastery Day, where some of the most renowned coaching business owners share their experience and proven strategies for success. We kicked off the day with Barbara Mutezi and her masterclass pricing and packaging your coaching products and services. Up next, speaking is Donna Garraty. She's the founder of Sea Change Therapy and Coaching Limited, where she supports leaders, professionals, and business owners to navigate complexity, regain clarity, and make sound decisions during periods of change. With a background spanning coaching, therapeutic practice, and business ownership, Donna brings a calm, structured approach to both emotional and strategic challenges. She's known for helping capable individuals simplify their thinking, reduce overwhelm, and build sustainable ways of working that support confidence, focus, and long-term professional integrity. This masterclass helps coaches develop a clear and practical business strategy without overcomplicating their approach. Using a simple planning framework, the CALM strategy map, participants will clarify who they work with and the problem they solve, review how well their current offers and workload are aligned, identify where effort creates the greatest impact, and define one clear priority for the next 90 days. The focus is on simplification, clear decision making, and realistic next steps. Participants will leave with a usable strategy they can implement immediately and greater confidence in how they focus their time and energy. Without further ado, over to you, Donna. I will now share my screen so that everyone can take a look at the presentation. Please let me know when that is visible.
Yay!
Fantastic. Over to you, Donna. It's such a pleasure to have you here with us.
Oh, thank you. Well, hello and welcome, everyone. We've had a few technical issues earlier on, mainly me. So Elena's been very good at helping me out. So if I glitch a little bit, it'll be because of the slide. So please bear with me, but hopefully we'll get through it unscathed. So as Elena said, my name's Donna Garraty, and this session is just one part of the wonderful Business Mastery Day that the IAPC&M have laid on for us coaches. We're going to be spending the next 90 minutes together today, exploring the calm, clear business strategy. You're going to have time to pause and reflect and think things through. And today's definitely not about fixing your business. We can't fix your business in a day if it needs fixing, but we will be looking at doing more and having one clear focus that you can end with. So I hope that's okay. You will have time to do some activities together. I apologise for not looking at my camera. I've got two screens open at the moment. So if I'm flicking about, that's why. It's because I'm looking at the screen. So yes, there will be opportunities to do some work on some activities. And by the end of it, I want you to be able to go away with one clear action that you can implement into your business. So before we start, let's have a look at today's purpose. So we're going to simplify the business strategy. We're going to reduce overthinking and overcomplication, which is what puts us into this state of overwhelm. And I want you to leave, as I've said, with one clear, practical focus that you can implement into your business. So we don't need to solve everything in a day. Anyone who is a coach that has a business, or any business owner, very often they get caught up in the term the weeds, where you're stuck in the day-to-day and you can't always deal with thinking strategically and planning strategically. So what tends to happen is you're out there trying to coach your clients, but your business is struggling because you're caught up in the day-to-day. So this session is really to just define and simplify your business strategy and not add to the issue. So we're going to look at reducing overthinking and overcomplication and help you leave, again, with one clear practical focus that you can work on. How today will run. So we're going to share some short teaching segments. This is to introduce some ideas and a framework. You'll have time to reflect privately without pressure. So if you've got a notebook or if you've got a journal that you want to add these notes in, I highly recommend that you do that throughout this activity. And we'll also use the chat if you want to share even any reflections or comments, and we will have an opportunity for questions at the end. It's up to you how much you want to share. There's no expectation to disclose anything that you don't want to or anything personal. And you can, if you prefer to just listen and not speak or not participate, that's absolutely fine. It is about learning in this session and not about performance. Okay, so we're going to look at how much you want to participate. Remember, it's all about doing what's comfortable for you and what's supportive. Having insight into what you need to do in your business is what's important. It's not about having the right answer. And there's no single right strategy. It's only one what works for you and for your business. And every business is different. Every coach works differently. So this is really about you. And I've tried to make this session deliberately that, so that it focuses in on all of you, but you can work individually to be able to get what answers you need. So if there's something in all of this that feels right for you, take it. If it doesn't, just disregard it. It's absolutely fine. You can let it go. Okay, so business owners in general, and in this context, we're talking about coaches and their businesses. Very often, we will experience too many ideas, too many options, have difficulty knowing exactly where to focus. And we do a lot of over delivery and we have stretched boundaries. In my first coaching business many years ago, I always remember a very experienced coach saying to me, it's like you're the fifth emergency service. And it was that. I was very reactive to client needs. I didn't have enough boundaries in place, and that resulted in burnout. So we're going to be looking at about that over delivery and stretch boundaries if that's something that you're experiencing. And also feeling busy without clear progress. If you're finding that you're reactive to things and you're responding rather than planning and strategically working through things, then again, that's going to put you into a state of overwhelm. So this is very common for all us people, all trying to do a good thing, but it is also very changeable. If you recognize yourself in any of this, remember that you're not doing anything wrong. It's what thoughtful, conscientious practitioners do. So let's look at what strategy is. So a strategy is about deciding on what matters most. It's not about doing more. It's not about adding more to your workload. It's prioritizing the things that are going to move you forward and move the business forward and ultimately benefit you and your clients. Also with strategy, it's not about adding more, as I've mentioned, but also sometimes in a strategy, it's letting things go. And that's actually hard. And I know I'm guilty of that. Sometimes if something's been working quite well, and then introduce something else which works better, I still find it hard to let that other thing go because it's worked so well, but actually it doesn't fit into the bigger picture. So, it's not about adding more, it's focusing. And sometimes that does actually mean letting things go as well. Okay, so let's just see how you guys are doing at the moment. We're going to do a little check-in. If you don't mind popping into the chat, and I'm going to have to drop my screen down so that I can see what's going on in the chat, but Elena will help us with this. So in one word, can you just put into here, how does your business strategy feel right now? This isn't about naming or shaming or highlighting anything. It's just really just understanding where you are now.
Donna, are you? You should have access to the chat. Are you able to?
Just having a look now to see if I can see it.
We have 3 messages.
Okay. Can you read those? Because I can't actually see the chat screen from where I am because I've got this presentation open here so I can read through my notes as we talk.
Yes, sure. I will read them out loud.
Thank you.
And thank you everyone for sharing. Patience says we'll jump over 12 due to a client call. No problem, Patience. And she, her answer to your question is aligned.
Excellent.
Lama has put forward, I haven't started my business yet. still in the stage of processing.
Fantastic. That's a blank canvas that you can work from. That's good.
Yes, these are the answers we have.
Okay, wonderful. Okay, so all at very different stages, so that's absolutely fine. Okay, let me just move forward.
Sure.
Right, okay, so can you see what I've got on screen here? So we're looking at the CALM strategy map. So what I'm going to share with you today is the CALM strategy map. It's a simple framework and it's an acronym, which we're going to talk about further in a moment, but it's a simple framework and it's designed to support clearer thinking, better decisions and more sustainable progress. The thing to note about this is it is just a framework. It's not rigid. It's not a model you have to follow perfectly, but it is a way of organising your thinking so that your business feels calmer and definitely more intentional. So as I mentioned, CALM is an acronym. Again, can you see this on your screen? Because I'm looking at a different screen to you guys at the moment.
We were looking at the wonderful CALM.
That's okay. You can move that one along, Elena.
And then we have clarity up.
Okay, that's absolutely fine. Can you go back a stage where you can see the map?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
It's up.
Amazing. Okay. So as I've mentioned, the acronym is for clarity, alignment, leverage, and momentum. And clarity is about who you help in your coaching business, or if you're a new business, who you plan to help, who your audience is, and the problem that you solve. The alignment looks at how your offers, your pricing, the boundaries, time, and all the energy all fit together. And then leverage, that focuses on where your effort creates the most impact. And the momentum is about choosing one clear priority for the next 90 days. So we're going to work through all of these doing an activity. We were going to have some breakout rooms, but again, unfortunately, the technology's let me down. So my apologies for that. So I hope you're able to follow as we go. So we're going to explore each of these in the session. So feel free to move on. Elena, yes, please, if you would.
We have clarity.
Yay. Okay. So let's start with clarity. So in a moment, I'll give you time to write your answers down. So if you've got a journal or a notebook, that's absolutely fine. And then as we go forward, I will invite you to drop some more notes into the chat if you feel that you want to do that. But for now, just make some notes in your notebook. So I'm going to be looking in the activity in a few minutes, who you primarily help, what problem do most people come to you for, and what outcome do you want to be known for? Okay, so for example, in my business, as Elena mentioned at the beginning, I help business leaders, professionals, business owners who are at any stage of a breakup or divorce. And it's a very niche area that I work with, but they come to me because they want to stay grounded, decisive, and more importantly, on track whilst they're navigating one of the most traumatic experiences of their lives. And anybody that's gone through a significant breakdown in a relationship or a full-on divorce, you'll know that that is just so traumatic. It's the second most traumatic experience that someone will go through after the death of a loved one. So, and if you're a leader in a business, whether that's as an employed role, as maybe you're a manager or a director, or whether it's your own business, you know that the show couldn't stop in order for the business to succeed. So I help them to help with the overwhelm, if you like, of dealing with all of that and not lose their success within their role. So what I want to be known for is that I want to ensure that my clients' personal challenges don't impact their success. Now, and also to help them to create a future that's theirs. Because again, coming out of a breakup or divorce, for example, very often that future that they had planned is now gone. So I help them to signpost and to create another future at the same time as maintaining their business. So that's what my business is. So again, I know who I primarily help, which are business owners, leaders, and professionals at any stage of a breakup or divorce. The problem that they come to me is that they want to maintain that whole business. They don't want to lose anything and compromise their success in all of this. And what outcome I want them to be known for is to make sure that they have a compelling new future going ahead. So it's very difficult. If I'm jumping all over the place, I apologize. It's just because I'm trying to look at two screens. It's very bizarre. So, so my apologies. And the camera here. All right. You okay? You all following along all right?
Yes. Shall we move on to the second
Yes, please. So we're on to
element?
alignment now. So alignment, and we're going to go on to the activity in a moment, but alignment asks a different kind of question. So do your offers, your pricing, your boundaries that I talked about, for example, your time boundaries, the time and energy that you give to your business, does it support you or is it depleting you? Does it feel like the business stretches you in ways that aren't sustainable? Again, this isn't about judgment. I've been there. I understand how all this is. It's about noticing where in your business feels supportive and where they feel heavy. So, okay, so we're going to take some time for you to look at this. So this is a guided reflection. So effectively, it's about some thinking time. So we're going to look at who you primarily help, which we've talked about. What problem do people come to you for? What outcome do you want to be known for, and where is it aligned? And one of you has already mentioned that your business is aligned, which is great news. So you're already halfway there, if not fully there. And also then we're going to look at is where it becomes stretched or misaligned. So again, I'll give you an example. Where my business is aligned, it's where I help a specific group of people with a specific problem and they can achieve a clear outcome. And my business works best when I focus on this. An example where my business was misaligned was when I felt stretched. And that's because I said lots of yeses to short-term projects and short-term commitments. I also underpriced the work that I was doing and I took on clients who weren't a good fit. I got to the point, and again, this is very common with coaches, is that we want to help everybody. And by doing that, you then become misaligned because they're not a good fit for your business or what your skill set is. So I want you to take 15 minutes now. Elena, could you time watch for me from where you are, please?
Yes, absolutely.
Thank you. So I want you to write down in your notebook or your journal where your business is in terms of clarity and alignment. And by the end of the activity, I want you to aim to have one or two clear sentences about who you help and why, and an insight about alignment or misalignment. So just put this into your notebook. I'll leave this slide on the screen. Put it into your notebook or journal. We'll share some other bits a little bit later on. So we've got 15 minutes and I'll leave that on screen.
Okay, so it's 10 to noon UK time. We will reconvene at 5 minutes past 12. We have 5 minutes to go.
Okay. If you need that time, that's fine. If you finish, though, we can move on. Oh.
I've moved the slide forward to what stood out for you from
Yeah,
that.
perfect. I say I can't see what you can see, Elaine, and that's why I'm having difficulty. Apologies.
No problem. Lama, would you like to type one reflection into the chat?
Yes. Okay.
Or feel free to speak. It's up to you, whichever feels most comfortable.
Yes, thank you. That's easier for me. Actually, I'm a bit slow in typing. Okay. So I did life coaching in Noble Manhattan, and I'm waiting for my diploma the next month for the 3-day courses. I haven't done my niche yet. So I help people uncover obstacles that cause them to be stuck in life. People come to me like with things like overwhelming, overthinking, lack of confidence. They're stuck in a relationship, to set boundaries, time management, these kinds of things. And so I raise their awareness over the topic they choose to work on. I feel aligned because I am passionate about helping people become the best version of themselves. And I feel misaligned when I develop doubts, overthinking whether I am able to make my own business or not.
Amazing. Okay. Noble Manhattan. I trained initially with Noble Manhattan. Give my love to Gerard. I love him with a passion. He's a good man. Well, well done you. Incredibly good. And yes, again, when you've got a new business as well and you're coming out of training, you're going to have imposter syndrome, aren't you? That can I do this? And I remember Gerard actually saying to me many years ago, there's almost a dichotomy between being a coach and having a business because they're very different skill sets. But you know, many coaches have very successful businesses. It is very much about finding your lane. But once you've got that, once you're clear about where you want to help people, that's when it will all come clear to you. And that's part of this process. It will help you to do that. I know, again, I can use my own examples. I know for me, I worked in personal development coaching for a long time, and it was only in the last year that I've niched into breakup and divorce. So although I'd done relationship coaching and various other things and therapeutic techniques, I've narrowed it down into this. So yeah, it's good though that you can feel that alignment's already there and there's just some areas that you need to tweak. So thank you for that.
Thank you.
Is there anything else in there, Elena? Because I can't see the chat, so I'm relying on you, I'm afraid.
No, there isn't anything.
Okay, no,
the chat. We can move on.
That's absolutely fine. Yep, let's move on to the next one, which is leverage. Yeah,
that's correct.
Yay. Okay. So what we're going to be looking at now is leverage. So this isn't about forcing anything. Leverage is really about focus, not this force. So we're going to look at where you have the greatest impact in your business. We're going to look at what already works, what brings results, energy and clarity. So again, remember, this is all purely about focus, laser focusing on the things that you can get the results on. And it's sometimes very much about doing less, not more, but that's intentional. Okay, so I'm going to do another guided reflection with this one. Is 15 minutes too much? Not enough? Are we happy with that, or would you prefer it to be a little bit shorter?
Lama, what is your view on that, please? Would 10 minutes be sufficient, or?
Yeah. If we need longer, we can extend it, but I don't want people twiddling their thumbs if they want to move on, so that's fine.
Absolutely.
Okay. So the question here in this guided reflection is, what currently works well in my business? Where do I spend time with little return? And what could I simplify, pause, or stop? And the aim at the end of this activity is to have one activity to pause, reduce, or stop, and have one activity to focus on more intentionally. So again, you've got 15 minutes. Just ask yourself these questions. What currently works well? Where do I spend my time with little or no return? And what could I simplify, pause, or stop?
And Lama said in the chat, shorter time will work for her. So Lama, feel free to unmute yourself when you're done and share with us.
Perfect.
I will also contemplate on my end.
Okay, good. Again, I haven't got a time on my end. That's why I'm struggling. So my apologies.
No problem. So it is. It was actually 5 minutes past
Okay.
12. So we can do a check-in in the next 8 minutes. Yeah. I'll follow the time.
Fabulous.
Lama, please feel free to unmute yourself when you're done.
Yes, I actually didn't finish them all because I was stuck. I was like blocked. I couldn't think about what to focus on and what to reduce.
Okay.
I just like wrote whatever came in my mind. I can share
Yeah,
it.
that's absolutely fine. We'll do some question and answers at the end. I'll take myself off this screen so that I can see you, and then we can cover any of those if we've got time at the end, Elaine, and no problem at all.
Okay. So, what works well with me is the mindset I developed that allowed me to put myself out of the comfort zone. So I am now able to interact better thanks to the questioning and listening skills I developed in my coaching journey. Um, and a non-judgmental attitude towards people. I just spent time planning. This is for the where do I spend time with little return. I spent time planning and overthinking rather than executing and take the first step towards starting my business. I just overplan. Okay, and I think what I should reduce or stop is I should stop over planning because the more I do that, the more I get the fear of executing. And I should focus on this is where I got really blocked because my son came over there and he started a conversation with me. So I should focus maybe to enhance my strength regarding the coaching and be more confident to just step in the business world.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes. Absolutely. I think, again, everything that you're feeling is perfectly normal. And when you're first starting out in particular, this is a big problem, but it doesn't really change as you move on. If you are going to grow and develop a business, you're always going to have to push your comfort zone. You're always going to have to try new ideas, new things. Some will succeed, some will fail. And this is why we're frightened to do it, because if you're pioneering something, then the chances are you're not going to get it right first time. And remember, your business is going to evolve, and it is an evolution throughout the whole thing, and you can try and test and do all sorts of things. But the fact is, if you've been trained as a coach to the level that you know you've been trained at, you're already streets ahead because you already know more than your clients do. So you're already in a position where you can help them, or even if you don't believe that that's the case. So it is difficult, and it's like me doing this now. I mean, I've got a VA and she's in the Philippines and I love her with a passion. She's amazing, but she's on holiday at the moment, which is why I'm struggling this end with the bits that she does for me. So this is new. I'm outside of my comfort zone, not presenting, but presenting, this kind of thing on, on a system that's clearly not working for me. And thank goodness I've got Elena. But the point being is that you have to go out there because done is better than perfect. So get it done, bring what you need to bring to the market, if you like, and just help those people. There's plenty of business advice out there, free business advice. And I think the main things that you need to know with the business is who you're going to be marketing to, find your lane, and then how you can do it. And as long as you're understanding how many clients you need, and I think one of the presenters on one of these deals with that, how many clients you need, how much money you need to bring in to keep the lights on, that's your main thing. Once you've got that, you can build on everything else.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you. That helps me. Thanks.
Great. Shall I move on to the next slide?
Yes, please. So you've probably just said this, Elena. So the quiet reset, it's just really a couple of minutes, from what you've done so far. We're not quite at the end yet, but what you've done so far, pop it into the chat if you're happy to. What feels clearer now and what feels lighter or simpler, if anything? Again, remember, I can't see the chat, so if there's anything in there for me, Elena, please just shout out.
We'll do so. Lama, you have the honor to have Donna for yourself today, apart from all of the other people that may be watching this masterclass on Facebook and LinkedIn as it is live streamed. So would you like to share with us what feels clearer now and lighter or simpler?
Yes, thank you. So what feels clearer, I done it, but the second point, I didn't have the time to do it yet. So what feels clearer is the importance of executing, even when it's not perfect, done perfectly. Good is better than perfect, as Donna said to me. And what feels lighter, maybe after, listening to this webinar and to all the webinars I've listened to, I feel like every day I feel like a step forward to start doing it. It feels like any minute I can execute. So it's just here on the edge. Thank you.
Absolutely. Well, thank you for staying with us, Lama. That's absolutely amazing. Thank you.
Thank you.
And thank you for sharing. I'll move on to the next slide since we have 10 minutes till the end. So momentum, Donna, tell us more about it, please.
Yeah, so momentum, again, this comes from focus. This is about, we've identified what works, what doesn't work. We've identified that we've got some leverage, what's going to make a difference, what's important to focus on, and then how we're going to get this moving. So the momentum comes from focus, consistency, and protecting what matters. And when I say that, is it's really easy to get caught in the distractions of everything else. So if you've identified this is what matters, then that's what you've got to protect and work with that. Don't let the distractions kick in. So one clear priority beats many, many other good ideas and lots of good ideas. And progress doesn't come from doing everything. It comes from choosing what matters now and implementing. You'll hear me use the word implementing a lot because that's, if you're like me, I can be a course junkie. And I think, Lama, you just said you're watching all these different webinars. There's lots of learnings and there's so much that we're taking in. But actually taking that learning and just taking that first step, that's what gets the momentum. And this is really key to this. So in this reflection, and again, we can use however many minutes we've got available. What is your one priority over the next 90 days? Now, I think, Lama, you said, just to take that step, I'm on the edge. So what is that next step going to look like? So that's going to be your priority for the next 30, 60, 90 days. Just get yourself out there and bring good to the world, which is why you've signed up to be a coach for sure. So again, just use however many minutes we've got left. Elena, you could probably guide us on that. Identify what your priority is and why does it matter most to do it now? And what will I need to be able to say no to those distractions?
Perhaps we can take 5 minutes for this.
Yeah, sure.
And I will watch the clock.
Yeah. If you need me to give an example, I can. Otherwise, I'll leave it with you. The thing is, it's about building your confidence and your credibility and doing what you're doing, putting yourself out there in those little short reels. I mean, it took me years to get into a place where I was confident doing anything audio or doing anything on video. But it is where it needs to be. You're a good looking lady. You've got lots to offer. And getting yourself out there and getting your message out there, once you start getting those responses and you can start working with people on a one-to-one basis, it will boost you completely. So that's a really, really good place to start. So well done.
Thank you so much. You can't imagine the clarity that I'm getting over what I am now through this webinar. Thank you so much.
Good. Oh, thank you, Lama. Thank you. Right, we're almost through anyway, so we'll move on to the next one.
And so I will read it out loud, if I may.
Yeah.
In one sentence, my focus for the next 90 days is,
yeah.
We already heard that from Lama. And then we have your map up.
Yep. Okay, so let me get back to where I was. Okay, so I've got the map here as well. So what you've created is your own calm strategy map. So the acronym for clarity, alignment, momentum, and leverage, you've got all that in place now. So the last bit is we're going to look at what the things are that pull us back into overwhelm. So this is what I was talking to you about with the easy distractions. You know, if you've got family, if you've got other commitments, you know, if there's not enough hours in the day, particularly if you're overthinking and over planning, the next day will come around really, really quickly and you've made no progress. So what we want to do, remember, the things that pull us back into overwhelm are things when you add more to it instead of simplifying it and narrowing your focus, saying yes too quickly to things without thinking them through. I've almost contradicted myself there. It is important to think things through, but you'll get into the habit of knowing what to say yes to and what not to say yes to, and then trying to fix everything at once. And again, we're guilty of this when we take on a client in our coaching sessions, that we're going to try and fix them. We're certainly going to try and fix them in one session, and that's not the case. I mean, I'll give you an example. Before this webinar, I'd got a new coaching client that came to me, and he's got a whole myriad of issues he wants help with. And you have to kind of restrict yourself from going in with all the tools that you have just in that session. You have to break it down and take it step by step. So again, trying to fix everything all at once is one of those things that pulls us back into overwhelm. So clarity needs protection. Okay, so one of the things that we can look at about how to protect that clarity is make it visible. So you can't see it from here. So I've got on my notice board here, one of the first things I've got is mastering time management. And I think there's 20 things on there. Plan your day, write everything you want to achieve, put your goals on a physical piece of paper, etc. I've also got, I chunk my time into 90 minutes a day. So in 90 minutes sections, I'll write emails to my mailing list. I might connect and message to somebody on LinkedIn. I might reactivate old customers. So I've got a whole list of things that I could do in that time, but they're all really important. I just have to decide which I'm going to focus on in that 90 minutes or that day or that week, or in your case with the new business, the 90 minutes. So all of these things are really helpful, but it's just useful having a visual guide because it keeps you on track. Because if it's not on my list, I'm not doing it. Okay. So.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Donna. We're exactly on time, but I wanted to suggest the following since we are running out of time. How can we stay in touch with you, Donna? In case Lama wants to reach out.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, sure. Definitely. Thank you. Well, there's a number of ways. You can follow me on LinkedIn. You'll find me under Donna Garraty, and the business is called Sea Change Therapy and Coaching. So I'm on there. I post quite regularly on there. My website is seachangetherapyandcoaching.com. And I'll invite anybody that's stayed with us on this webinar. You can book a free breakthrough session, which is a free 30-minute session, which we can use for any subject. And that can be for identifying some of the areas in your business that you want some extra work on. But if you want to commit to a booking, We can have a whole 90-minute session, a focused session, which is a clarity session. That's a paid session though, but you're very welcome to book anything that you want as a result of this webinar if you've got some value from it.
That is fantastic. Lama shares in the chat that she found your webinar very beneficial, and she extends her gratitude for your time and sharing your knowledge with us. I'm also very grateful for having had the opportunity to host you today. So that's the first of many, I like to believe. It's been incredible listening to your experience, and we are very grateful for you having shared with us some of your wisdom. Thank you so much once more, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you, Lama, and for everyone else.
Thank you, Lama. Very best of luck with your new business, and thank you, Elena, for all your help.